I'm Macy Egland. The East Quogue man convicted in a gruesome torture killing is expected to be sentenced today. Jeremy Allen was convicted of first-degree murder last month. Prosecutors say he beat his friend Christopher Hahn for hours before placing a bag over his head and stabbing him to death in 2024. Allen could get life in prison without parole. A man is in critical condition after being hit crossing the street in Garden City Park. Police say the 44-year-old was crossing Jericho Turnpike last night when it happened. The driver stayed at the scene. You can see Newsday's year-long investigative series looking at Long Island's dangerous roads on our website, newsday.com. Today marks 33 years since the bombing at the World Trade Center. 6 people, including 2 Long Islanders, were killed when a truck bomb detonated in the parking garage below the North Tower on February 26, 1993. Their names are inscribed at a reflecting pool where that tower once stood. Babylon is borrowing millions for new fire trucks. The village recently approved a nearly $9 million bond, some of which will be used to buy 2 new trucks. The largest chunk of money will go toward bulkhead repairs to the dock at Fire Island Avenue and at the end of Lighthouse Road. Meanwhile, some fire departments around the island are asking you to be a hydrant hero. They're challenging residents online to clear the area around hydrants for a chance to win prizes. A little incentive here. Keeping hydrants accessible is critical during emergencies. We do have the chance for some more snow on the way. Let's take a look at your Thursday weather. Slight chance we could see some snow this afternoon, so maybe, depends where you are. Otherwise, it's just cloudy. Highs in the mid to upper 30s, maybe hitting 40. Looks good. Tomorrow will feel a lot like today, but there will be more sun. That'll be nice. Your weekend looking sunny right now. Saturday and Sunday looking pretty good. Next week, though, Wednesday, you see we've got some rain chances, but look at that. In the 40s likely for the next 3 days. We'll take it.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Newsday at the movies. I'm Macy Egland. Long Island may not be the first place you think of when you think of the movies, but our home has a connection to some of the best films in the history of cinema. We're talking a hands-down classic, laugh-out-loud comedies, surreal sci-fi, and edge-of-your-seat thrillers. Joining me now with a list of some of the best Long Island movies is Newsday's film critic Rafer Guzman. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Before we start and get into that, let's talk about the criteria. What was it for a movie to make this list?
Pretty simple. It had to be either set here or filmed here or both. Ideally, both. That's what really makes a great Long Island movie a great Long Island movie. We also tried to take quality into account. That means no to Batman Forever. And we tried not to lean too hard on Old Westbury Gardens, which is in many, many, many movies. But, you know, we had to throw a few in there. Okay, so let's get into this list. We start with arguably one of the greatest movies of all time, The Godfather. Tell us about that. Well, I mean, this is a classic. I really think this is a no-brainer. Yeah. If you pull just about any Long Islander off the street, they're going to say their favorite movie is probably The Godfather. You know, it was set here in Long Beach. The Corleone Mansion is set in Long Beach, and it was filmed here. 2 of the most famous scenes, I think, in the movies in general were filmed here. The severed horse head scene, a famous scene that was shot in Falaise, the Falaise Mansion, the one-time home to the founder of Newsday, Alicia Patterson. And then, of course, the toll booth scene with James Caan as Sonny Corleone. Terrific, amazing, violent scene. Set at the Jones Beach Causeway, but filmed at Mitchell Field, the old Air Force Base. So that's those are 2 huge scenes in the movies right there. Absolutely. All right, so we know Robert De Niro, of course, was part of the Godfather trilogy. He was also part of a very funny comedy trilogy, Meet the Parents, and several locations in the first movie were filmed right here on Long Island, right? That's right. So this is the one with Ben Stiller playing the nurse. He's trying to please his future father-in-law, played by Robert De Niro, and it takes place in Oyster Bay. It's a pretty long list of places that were filmed in Long Island. Their home is in Old Brookville. The tuxedo shop they go to for the wedding tuxedos, that's Greenvale's Victor Talbot's. The pharmacy, which used to be a grocery store, was in Port Washington. There's the Real Oyster Bay Animal Shelter in Syosset. And the pre-wedding dinner is at the old Louis Oyster Bar and Grill in Port Washington. So there's a lot of Long Island. It's one of the most Long Island movies, and also set specifically in Long Island.
They went all over the North Shore for that one.
They really did. They went everywhere.
Wow, awesome. All right, now to a kind of surreal sci-fi romance, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's one I have not seen. So there's a connection to Montauk in that?
Definitely. I mean, this is, Macy, this is required viewing.
I know, I have to see it.
You really should see it.
I
First
promise.
of all, it was written by a Long Islander, Charlie Kaufman. He's from Massapequa. And it's about a man, it's like you say, it's a little bit sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's about a man who is trying to erase all the memories of his ex. Jim Carrey plays the guy, Kate Winslet plays the woman. And there's a refrain that keeps coming up throughout the movie as he's trying to get rid of these memories. He keeps hearing her say, "Meet me in Montauk." And the end of the film takes place in Montauk. There's this very surreal scene of a wintry seashore, which I think is Kirk Park Beach. And then there's a very distinctive looking kind of shingled mansion, which is called Kilcare, if I have that right, in Wainscott. So those are two really iconic pieces of that movie that were filmed in Long Island.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely need to see that one for sure. So it's on the list. Finally, Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler. Lots of Nassau connections in that one.
That's right. I think most people would probably think of this as a Manhattan movie because Adam Sandler plays a guy who works in the Diamond District in Manhattan. But he lives in Roslyn. His home there was filmed in Roslyn. His wife is played by Idina Menzel, who's a Long Islander. There's also a great little cameo at the end of the film by this very interesting looking guy named Wayne Diamond, and he's a former fashion designer from Oceanside.
Oh, wow.
There's even a track on the soundtrack called Back to Roslyn when Adam Sandler is driving back home. And in fact, all the scenes inside his Diamond District shop were all filmed in Bethpage at the Gold Coast Studios in Bethpage. So it's actually a very Long Island film.
All of these films are. Let's take a look at the list again, just in case you missed any of them here and need a refresher. I think a lot of people may be a little surprised by this. This is such a cool thing. Wow, and that's just a few of them, right? You have a whole list of these.
We've got 50 of them.
Wow.
We've got as you said, we've got some classics. We've got some ones that you may not have thought of. We've got some very obscure gems on there, going all the way back to the 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good list.
Okay, and you can check it out. So my thanks to Rafer Guzman, Newsday's film critic. You can read more of his reviews. See that list on Newsday.com. Here's what's up on Long Island. Hockey is back at UBS Arena. The Islanders take on the Florida Panthers this weekend. Islander Bo Horvat was just on the same team as some of the Panthers representing Canada at the Olympics. Now they're playing against each other for a win. Puck drops Sunday at 6:30. See Riverdance in Brookville and celebrate the group's 30th anniversary as they perform traditional Irish music and dancing. It's Friday night at the Krasnoff Theater within the Tillis Center for the Performing Arts. And Mexican pop rock band Maná continues on its new tour with a stop on the island. They play UBS Arena Friday night at 8:30. For admission information and even more events, click Get More below that Newsday TV video box on our homepage. All right, time now for the best in high school sports. Here's Jared Veluzzi.
There was playoff action all across Long Island in girls and boys hoops, and we had some dramatic endings. We'll start off on the girls' side, where William Floyd took on Huntington, and Melania Farrow for the Colonials. She's going to take this one from the logo and hits it. Floyd takes down Huntington. And also in Suffolk girls basketball, Walt Whitman's Paige Hiller, the pass to Hannah Creighton. She'll knock down the three-pointer as the Wildcats get the win. And in Nassau County, we'll go to Freeport taking on Uniondale. And look at this, a great pass will lead to Shania Bonney finishing through the contact, but Uniondale gets the upset win. And staying in Nassau, New Hyde Park's Maeve Downing. She thinks she's gonna go inside, but she'll pull up from deep and connect from the top of the key. New Hyde Park gets the win. And on the boys' side, Deer Park and Smithtown East, Nusanti Delbridge of Deer Park is going to get the basket. They have the lead now. And on defense for the Falcons, Reginald Jean Lewis comes up clutch with the block, and Deer Park advances. And also in Suffolk County, it's Sayville's Wesley Jones going to get the ball and put it in. The Golden Flashes as the 7th seed get the win. And in Nassau County, Malvern, they were the top seed in this game, but Lynbrook pulled off a stunning upset. Ojiagu with the block, sending this one way back in the Owls' stunning victory. And finally, Jericho taking on Beth Page as Casey Deutsch. This one's tied up. He's going to pull up from way downtown and connects as Jericho stuns Beth Page at the buzzer. As those were the plays of the week in girls and boys hoops. Playoffs have been amazing so far, and I'll be back next week with some more great plays.
Also on this week's Sarah Sounds Off, Baldwin's boys and girls basketball teams look to go far in the playoffs. To watch that, head to Newsday.com, click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, any other streaming services that you use. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
Vision Zero is a global safety campaign aimed at ending fatal and serious crashes. Newsday investigates whether the strategy embraced by New York City and governments worldwide can work on Long Island. A vision for safety. Now available at Newsday.com/dangerousroads.